Hey, what's up guys? It's Raph from VNC Camera. If you guys are looking to pick up a monitor system, we're going to go ahead and go over some of the things you'd probably want to consider picking up before using your monitor. Real quick, what is a monitor? Well, a monitor is basically a bigger display. So if you're having difficulty looking on your little 3-inch display on your camera, a monitor is a great way to basically preview what you're seeing. There are two types of monitors. There's a recording monitor and a field monitor. The one here on my right, which is probably to your guys' left watching this video, is the Atomos Ninja 5. This is the older version. There is a newer version of the Atomos Ninja 5 which records 8K 30 frames per second max, but it also does 4K 120. The older Ninja 5 is going to do up to 4K 60 max, so definitely keep that in mind. To my left here, which is going to be to your guys' right, is the Atomos Shinobi. Now this is going to be your standard go-to monitor, HDMI, plugging into the system to just basically preview, and it's a great way to basically see what is in focus, what's not in focus, just basically a bigger monitor to see what you're looking at. So again, the main difference between the two is that the Ninja 5 is going to be recording. Again, there are two versions, the 5 and the 5 Plus, like I had mentioned, and if you just want to straight up just see and preview what you're looking at, instead of looking at it at the small 3-inch screen or whatever you're using, getting a Shinobi is going to be the best bang for your buck. It's going to be a little bit more pricier with the Ninja 5, whereas the Shinobi is going to be a little bit cheaper. So again, weigh those options out as well too when you're picking a monitor. All right, getting right into the nitty gritty of things. The first thing you're going to want to consider is, of course, HDMI cables. I have a whole plethora of cables here for you. There's really only 3 main types you want to consider, depending on the output of your camera. So of course there's a standard full, right? It's going to be this guy right here. There is the older version mini, which is a little bit smaller, and the smallest guy of them all is going to be micro, which is this little guy right here. That's pretty common in most modern mirrorless systems, but a lot of the newer camera systems are adapting full HDMI, thank goodness. Everybody else's older systems are going to be using either one of those two systems. Also consider the speeds of the HDMI cable. Typically 2 or 2.1 is going to be the best. That's about 18 or so gigabytes per second worth of data. That's going to be really useful if you're wanting to record into a monitor that records, like the Ninja 5. Speaking of recordings, the next thing you want to consider that's not in the box is getting a hard drive. Now you can go ahead and go to Best Buy, any electronics store to pick it up. We do sell these master caddies to basically encase the hard drive in here. And what happens is, I'll show you guys, once you have that, you're going to use it for your Ninja 5 back here. And it's basically going to load in. I want to be cool, I call it the tape. So you just load your tape in the back, boom. Now, tape's loaded. So now you have storage and you can record into the Ninja 5. Next up is power. Now there are a lot of ways to power a Ninja 5 or Shinobi. There's NPF batteries. I also have here on display the SmallRig V-mount batteries, which I'll also explain a little bit on how to power a monitor system through there. But real quick, the first and obvious one, probably the most cost-effective one, is going to be an NPF battery. It's going to look like this guy right here. These ProMaster ones, the dual charger system is really great because again, you get the charger and 2 batteries. And these guys actually output a good amount of power and last a pretty decent amount of time. So, again, rotating this bad boy around, boom. As you can see, pops right in. And now you're ready to rock and roll. So, real quick, the Ninja 5 and the Shinobi does come with a power supply system that you can wall plug. Obviously, that's not really practical for most situations because again, you're going to have your camera on the go. You're most likely going to have it on a rig setup. I'll show you guys some other options from SmallRig in order to do that. But again, you're going to basically want to get something that's portable, like an NPF battery. The provided power supply is going to be something like this, which hooks up to the wall. And again, there is a way to basically utilize this system to use for a V-mount battery, which I'm going to show you guys right now. Okay, so say for example, now you have an awesome SmallRig V-mount battery or a ProMaster battery, which we both sell here at the store. That's a big beefy battery to power both your camera and your monitor. You're going to want to get a system to plug into this guy right here. So something like the Condor Blue cables that we have, which is a DC 2.1. So it's going to be this size right here, 2.1 millimeter right angle. This is a barrel plug. And what you're going to do is you're going to hook it up here, thread it on there, and then it's going to provide you a means to hook up via D-tab, which is going to be right here. Now, later on, when you're building out a cage, which is going to be another video that I'm going to be doing for you guys, Once you build out a cage and you have a setup with the power relay system hooked up, you'll have two means to D-tap out. That's probably the best means, but you can also use USB right here on the side. It's not going to be the fastest. D-tap is going to be pushing out as much power necessary in order to power this bad boy. Just to show you guys, we have it hooked up to an NPF. Hold the power switch. And it's on and good to go. Now when you have a hard drive hooked up to the system, you'll be able to record here. This record button is gonna be red. You'll be able to hit the record button and record no problem. But for now, you can actually hit play, preview what's on the hard drive, and yeah, that's pretty much it. And then just to showcase to you guys, let's go ahead and turn this monitor off, and then pop this guy off. Hook up the V-mount battery, works just fine. And I do have a reason why I have this Rode hooked up, because again, you can hook up an audio system, something like a lavalier wireless microphone system, right? Or if you want to have a shotgun microphone up top, you can do that as well. You're going to want to have a 3.5 to 3.5. Just make sure that your microphone is battery powered, because again, this thing is not going to output any phantom power. So any condenser microphones, any heavy duty microphone systems that require power is not going to be powered through the system. Plugging this guy in is pretty simple. All you gotta do is just plug your microphone here to line in. There is a bunch of things you have to utilize here within the settings as well. To access it, you go here, and then you go to audio. You play around with this. This is gonna be a mic line in. So once I start recording, this is actually gonna pick up. It's not picking it up right now because again, I don't have anything hooked up to the HDMI, but these levels will go up and down. Now there's a whole bunch of things you can do with this Ninja 5. With the recent update, there's LUTs. You can actually preview the LUTs on here. For me, I like to keep it simple. The things I really utilize the most is the zebra peaking and the focusing peaking, which is the outline here with a person. Standard with most camera systems. Focus peaking is going to indicate what's in focus based off of the highlights in red. Very useful. And then your zebra peaking, of course, is going to show you what's exposed and what's overexposed. But there are a bunch of other features such as providing LUTs, onion, which is really cool. So basically there's an overlay of a previous image or a video, so you can make sure your frame's pretty much set to how it was if you kind of mess something up for framing. Lastly, other accessories to consider. You're going to need to offload your data, right? You're going to want to get something like this guy from Adamas. So this is basically a system to hook up the hard drive into here on the side. And of course, there are other options besides USB-A. If you have a USB-C compliant computer, you can get the USB-C version from Adamas. But this system is basically going to take the caddy, plug it in, and you'll be able to utilize and read the computer. You can even work out of the hard drive depending on how big the hard drive space is. That's what I've been doing, because again, if you have a fast enough hard drive, you'll be able to work out of this hard drive right here, which makes the workflow that much easier. Things from SmallRig. So say for example, you have a rig set up for your camera, you want this on top of your camera. You know, of course, it's good to have a handle. Some kits have handles, some don't. But again, a handle is really useful. If you don't have one, get one of those. There are various mounted or mount systems from SmallRig. This is the one I like to utilize. So it hooks up right here, and there are threads on the top and the bottom to put accessories or mount the monitor to. And yeah, I can hook it up right here, have the monitor on this, and it'll be good to go. And that's all there is to it for monitors. Again, consider the options and what you're going to pick up and what you're going to utilize your monitor for. A recording monitor such as a Ninja 5, definitely get a hard drive, an external battery if you're going to have it hooked up to your camera system. Just a standard field monitor, you can get a battery and it'll be ready to rock and roll. Of course, pick up HDMI cables because it doesn't come with it. So HDMI cables, batteries, and a hard drive if you're going to use a field recorder. Now, besides the hard drive, we do offer all these options here at BNC Camera. Again, you can go ahead and come to our store or find it all on our website at bnccamera.com. Alrighty, if you found the video helpful and informative, please be sure to give us a like and subscribe. As always, it helps us out a lot. Of course, I am none other than Raf from BNC Camera. Hopefully you found the video helpful and informative. Until next time.